We're back for our usual chat, and what I'm going to talk about today is, are you feeling a little bit low when the nights start to draw in, and why you might be feeling low if that's the case. So we know that in winter we have different moods drop, and this is possibly because our circadian rhythm, which is our internal clock, is a little bit out of sync, obviously. Our circadian rhythm is the natural rhythm that we would like to fall into, really, when we are sleeping and awake. And obviously work predicts the way that our body has to move on those times. So we always may be a little bit out of sync of our circadian rhythm, unless you work in an environment that you can wake up whatever time you want and you can go to bed whatever time you want, but often our work doesn't permit that. So, but in winter time, because of the internal clock changing, we have the longer, darker nights and shorter days. Our circadian rhythm, again, is challenged by that. So what can we do? Well, also as well, melatonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, which is responsible for how well you sleep. And the melatonin kicks in when darkness arrives, and that's the hormone that we secrete at that time. Well, when it's dark like this, and especially where we are in the UK, where we are today, a day like today, which is dark and rainy, our melatonin levels are going to kick in and be higher earlier in the day. So if you are like me and quite sensitive to that, you really are picking yourself up and trying to keep yourself awake through these times. So it's good to recognize it at the beginning of winter, because you can address it now and understand why you might feel that way as you go on. Other thing that is affected is serotonin. Serotonin, called the happy hormone, and serotonin is affected by sunlight, and that's why you probably see everyone out partying as soon as the sun comes out in the UK. We're all out there, aren't we? And we think, wow, and we're all smiling a lot more. Well, you know, they are lowered in the winter as well because of the reduction of sunlight. So we need to combat all that to get our motivation up, because when that happens, we tend to be more turning for our serotonin lift, our mood lift, and we'll do that by stimulants, whatever we can get to try and lift you, which will be chocolate, alcohol. You know, if you are good, then you will be knowing that exercise is the best one to lift you in that time. But when you're looking at all the other things that we've just talked about, it's like, wow, I'm feeling so tired. Have I got the energy to go to the gym? Well, the answer is yes, you have. Get in there and just start to walk and move. So the way we can combat it, there's certain things that you can do in the house and the environment and in your day. So you can get out in the daylight hours as much as you can and be outside as much as you can. So when you stop for your break, if you're on the laptop all day, like, you know, between clients I am and on the laptop, then to get outside and have a walk with a coffee instead of, or a green tea, whatever it is. I don't drink coffee because it gives me drops as well, up and down, but a green tea gives me the nice lift. So it's to get outside and drink coffee. Keep your al fresco way, that we, especially the way that we've had it over the last 2 years, we've become more al fresco people, as in al fresco dining and al fresco coffee, meeting friends for coffee. So that's the perfect way to keep your energy levels up. We can increase our natural light by having lots of light in your house. So making sure that, you know, you're in a light space. So maybe, you know, if you're working in a house that's dark, pick your computer up, go to a cafe bar that's got lots of light in there, if it's possible to do that, or into a hotel. I like going to do my admin in hotels. I love to take it out into a hotel because it's a change of scenery, it's fresh, there's people bubbling around you, they're motivated, they're working, you know, and that really works for me if I'm on my office work. So getting away from your environment, doing that. We know that Light bulbs, change your light bulbs, get bright light bulbs in your house if that's the way, mood lifter, it lifts you like that. The other thing is to have one of the clocks. There's an alarm clock that you can get that you probably know about, that over the period of 45 minutes gradually wakes you up in the natural light. It simulates natural light and brings you into the daylight in a much friendlier way than and sometimes, like, I have to be up now at 5:50 in the morning, which is really black till really a long time, you know, so I'm not sure it would work for me like that because I'm outside working in that at that time, but I have to try it, maybe it will. But for some people it really will do good, you know, if you are going to be out to work in the daylight by the time you get there, that will have done the job with the rising up. So regular exercise obviously is important. Rhythmic exercise is good. Things like you're moving both arms, both legs, maybe dancing, walking, weight training, that type of stuff is all good at that time as well to energize it. So your diet in the wintertime, we crave more carbohydrates. Our body wants us to put on natural fat stores. It wants us to go into a little bit of hibernation. So that's not a bad thing to go into hibernation, but to be the healthiest we can, the best carbohydrates that we can have is to eliminate simple carbohydrates like your bread, your biscuits, your cakes, and to eat more complex carbohydrates like your oats, vegetables, root vegetables. You know, if you look at the seasons, the nature gives us the carbohydrates we need to eat, not ASDA, okay? So if you eat according to how your area would grow vegetables with your root vegetables and not your ASDA carbohydrates, I'm not just picking on them, I mean all supermarkets that will produce produce that are really different times, different seasons of the year in different countries, not in the area you're in. So that's basically my tips for that, and I hope that helps. Drop comments down below if that does help you. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. And there's a lot more of that I've been doing all week. We are trying to lift motivation and nutrition advice all week. So keep popping back on here for daily lives and daily bullets of information. On Facebook, I don't know whether you've seen, but we've got audio rooms that are in clubs now, and I've got some clubs. So I will be doing some audio rooms where you can jump in and have a chat with me and ask questions, and maybe you've got some advice that you want to share with people. So look out for more of my links to audio rooms that are coming up that I'd love you to join me in. It's great, it's global, and we can all chat. So it's funny, I put out on my poll, on the Facebook poll, about who's affected by the winter blues, and I did notice that more of on the Facebook ones, they were more like, no, I'm not 100%, and the Instagram people were, yes, I am 100%. But I must say that on the Facebook, the only people that were voting were my Greek friends, which must be desperate for a holiday after the summer season by now, and had enough sun. Nice for some. All right, see you soon. I'm going now. I've got a bit of PT, personal training to do, so I'm off. And I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.